Come follow the brick wall. It's your girl Eva K, and I'm ready to eat. Hey, who ready to eat with me? Who ready to come bread with me? Let's break bread. Come break bread with me. Let's break bread. We about to eat this food. Hey, it's your girl, your host Eva K, and I am here with the mighty duo, Miss Divah B and Rashaad, and we are at their establishment. What's your address?
924 North Cherry Street.
North Church, right out the interstate. Boom.
37917.
Yes, sir. Look, we got a lot to talk about, so we're going to say our grace. We're going to get it in, okay? Now we thank you for our food, for our food. Father God, we thank you. Father God, we thank you. Amen. Amen. Okay. What's going on, y'all?
What's going on?
What's up, Eva?
Everything.
And listen, our meal was sponsored by the lovely couple. We went to Waffle House. You know. Do y'all got any shout outs?
My mama.
What I better say, my mama.
Shout out to my mama.
Duh.
For making me.
Nobody ever asked me about no shout outs all my life. I've been waiting on this now.
Right.
Oh.
Come through.
My dude Rondell. In Atlanta. That's who gave me. That's who gave me the game, man.
Shout out to B&B, Bosses
Shout out
Making
to
Bosses.
Bosses making bosses.
I like that.
Man.
I love that.
Shout out to my mama.
Yeah.
Shout out to my girl Coco Banks, Crown by Coco. Okay, don't get me started, cause
Look.
She got a lot of friends.
I don't got a lot of friends. I got a lot of business partners.
Hello. Correct that real quick.
Yeah.
Right.
But listen, so I love y'all whole shop, okay? So Divah has her Divah Beauty, which is a hair store, plus she sells women's clothes from size small to what?
4X.
4X. And then Shad has his empire he got going on with the Relentless 10 movement. So can we get into like the beginning, like where y'all grew up at, you know, and how did we get to this union? You know.
Who you want to go first?
You could go first. Ladies first.
It's two different stories. Okay.
Mine's more exciting.
Anyway.
Got a lot more exciting.
So I'm an East Knoxville native. I grew up in Burlington, 4254 Ivy.
Okay.
Really, yeah. That's my old address.
That's her, you know, her
That's
family.
my
home.
roots, right? That's where I'm at now. But so I grew up basically always a girly girl. My mama was complete opposite of me. She was more like a bookworm. I guess you could say a nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like me. If you meet my mama, nothing alike. So all through my life, I was the cheerleader, the dancer, the model, the heels for no reason type of girl. And so as I got older, I started having kids. I was a teen mom. I've had at least 30 jobs. I'm 30 years old. I've had at least 30 jobs, if not more. I've lost count. Worked a lot of different jobs. And so after I had my last son, Tyson, which was 5 years ago, I didn't want to go back from maternity leave.
Mm-hmm.
It was just really like weighing on my heart. Like I wanted to be with my kids. I wanted to be able to be at the school and go to the functions. And my kids was my whole heart. So I decided to take my passion and turn it into income, which is fashion and clothes and hair and makeup. So I started just dabbling research, and I was actually working at Accenture. And I was supposed to be working, but I wasn't. I was using their resources, okay, to get all up out of there. So I'm filing for business licenses and everything. They got printers and, you know, all the facts and I'm using all their stuff. So I started Divah's Beauty Supply in Alcoa, opened it in 2018, had 125 square feet, which was like a big closet. Mm-hmm. And I found some vendors. I got some wholesale stuff. I linked up with a few local people and bought some stuff from like jewelry lines that was local and stuff. And I just pushed it. And my whole thing was wanting to make women of all ages, all sizes, all backgrounds feel beautiful. Mm. Because I know that's like, I don't care where you from, all women from all walks of life have had that point in their life where they just don't feel pretty, no matter how pretty they are. So I wanted to bring that, and it was really, I wanted to make money to earn a living to be able to be home with my kids, but I wanted to empower women to make them feel good about themselves. So that's really what worked for me, like the customer service, because you can buy hair anywhere, you can buy outfits anywhere, but people kept coming back because they liked the way they felt when they left. So I just kept pouring myself into other people, and I made a lot of mistakes. The business end of it, I wasn't, I didn't really know a lot about it. I was just teaching myself. YouTube videos. I went to a seminar at the IRS. They got like a tax building down in Stroud Plains. I went to a seminar down there trying to learn about business taxes and all kind of stuff. So I made mistakes, and I ended up not being able to support myself for as long as I had wanted, because I just didn't have no job. I was just doing that. So I went back to the drawing board. I regrouped. I went to CAT and started driving buses, long story short. And so I was like, I'm going to do this for a little while, get my life turned around. I had incurred some debt, from just living off just what I was making off the store, and it not always being enough with 3 kids. So doing that, I said my next move was going to be a mobile boutique. I said I won't have the overhead, won't have rent, utilities, just you keep your boutique, your van, your truck, whatever it is, keep it up to par, and you good. You making money, more profit. So while I was at CAT in training, come across this man. When I first seen him, nothing about him just was like, oh, that's my husband. He was just another guy in the training class, and it wasn't at the time but me and one other black person in the training class. So of course, how black people, there's 3 of us, we gonna stick together.
Gravitate to each other naturally.
Right, I'm gonna sit with them, and I was the only female out of the whole class. So right. Well, it didn't intimidate me or anything, but it was just like, okay. So we started talking, and he had a business at the time too, which I'll let him tell you about. And so we had that in common. And then he was a real big like health guru. Like he still is like more into health than I am. But it was interesting to me because I had tried, being healthy at times. I had tried being pescatarian at times. I had tried this to lose weight. So he was real knowledgeable about that. So he was helping me, on that journey. And before we know it, we was going to lunch every day. We was hanging out after work, and we was talking to each other. He giving me advice. I'm talking to him about his problems. He talking to me about mine. And we was best friends. Like, dang, we best friends now. So we was self-proclaimed best friends. And that was just what it was. Like, I was treating him like a homie. Like, I'm telling him stuff like I shouldn't have been telling him if I wanted to marry him. So it was like one of those, like, this was my friend.
But you trusted him, though.
I trusted him wholeheartedly. Like, he was, like, that friend. So one thing led to another. We ended up being starting a relationship. It got more than just friends now. It's like, okay, this is romantic. Like, I don't want him with nobody else. Like, he's for me. He's not for the streets no more.
He mine.
He's mine. Oh, you was for the streets. But,
I'm not about to play with y'all. I'm not about to play with y'all.
My mama might see this.
He just did. Your mama knew you was for the streets, baby. You got, like, how many kids? No. But, so that we got into a relationship. The relationship started 10 months later. He proposed.
Okay.
A year after that, we got married, and now we've been married for almost a month.
Still newlywed.
Still newlywed.
Still swoon.
So that's basically our story in a nutshell, and then I'll let you tell his side of the story. But basically, I'm all about women and empowering women, especially black women. Mm-hmm. I see so many young girls with low self-esteem, and I feel like that's where it starts, because by the time we get to where we are, we should feel good about ourselves.
Yes.
It shouldn't take 40 years for you to realize your worth. Like, no.
And I love what you said about, you had some hiccups along your journey.
I did.
But that just made you go harder.
Oh,
that
yeah.
didn't make you stop or accept failure as defeat.
Right.
Like on the wall it say, failure is not an option.
It's not an option.
So I love that. And what you went through, I don't want any other women to go through, as far as not having a mentor.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people with boutiques or hair stores, but they should be pouring into each other.
Right.
Especially as young as you are, trying to start your business in 2018. You was a mom, but you also a young woman,
Right.
So that's why I'm trying to get networking. That's why I feel like networking is important, because you should have had a mentor.
Right.
To tell you the do's and don'ts.
Yeah. And I definitely agree. And I've had people since then reach out to me asking questions. I'm always willing to help, willing to share information, willing to lead you in the direction. It's work. It's not easy, but I definitely will give you the blueprint. And if you want to put in the footwork, it's endless possibilities.
You make it look easy. You make it
it's
look
not
good.
easy, plenty of tears and sleepless nights, but I am probably my biggest critic, and I'm the hardest on myself probably more than anybody because I know what I'm capable of. I know my possibilities. I see myself in bigger places. So when people see what they consider success, it may have been a success, but it's not the success that I want. And my mama always raised us to think bigger, be better, never stop growing, never stop perfecting your craft, and whatever you want, you can have it, but you're going to have to work for it.
Hello.
So.
All right. What about you, Shy? Where did your story begin?
I guess we're gonna be cold. Now, but look. Also, East Knoxville native. I was born on Sunset.
Okay.
2-parent home. My father, my mother. My father worked at Y12. He got a job at Y12. So we moved from on Sunset, like right in back of Tabernacle, to River Shores Drive. Missed that. I don't know what happened. It's not my business. My mom and my daddy split up. So we moved, you know what I'm saying? The kids go with the mother. So I moved to Nashville. So I stayed in Nashville till I was probably about 14, maybe 15. At the age of 15, I lied to my mom. I was like, my daddy said I can come stay with him in Knoxville. And I just came here, like they gave me a bus ticket. My stepdaddy gave me a bus ticket. I came to Knoxville. Really nowhere to live or nothing, you know what I'm saying? I was staying with my family members and all. I got a lot of family in Knoxville. I'm staying with my family members and all of that. So at that time, I was introduced to the streets. So, from the time that I was like 15, probably to the time we gotta skip over, like I done lived in every part of the East Side, Burlington, Walter P, except Austin Holmes probably, but Walter P, Fifth Avenue, all over the East Side. And at like 27, I think I went to prison. Went to prison. First time, it was a slap on the wrist. Did like a year and a half. Got back out. Thought they was playing with me. Did the same thing again. Had drug charges. They came and got me again before I got off parole. I think I stayed on parole for probably 9 months, 8 months. It's like 8 months. Stayed on parole for 8 months. Came and got me again. Got 17 years. So did like 9 years in prison. I went in 2008, did 9 years in prison, 2008, like close to 2009. Did 9 years in prison. Got back out 2017. Never really had a long term job. Not used to working. Like I was in prison and I didn't work in prison. Didn't work before I went to prison. I wasn't, I was young. I was in the streets. So got out, started doing little like smaller jobs, going to like Sonic. I worked at Sonic. Custom Foods. They was trying to kill me.
Everybody ain't dead now.
I looked around in there one day. I went to the parking lot. My brake cut on the AC of the car. I looked around. Told bro, man, hey, I ain't never coming back here, man. Pull it off. But in the midst of it, I'm thinking to myself, like, I still had, from anybody that's a drug dealer is an entrepreneur. Like, if you can sell that and like be, if you can be successful at doing that, you can almost be successful at doing anything.
Exactly.
It takes a lot to be, like, it takes more to be a drug dealer than it does to actually go get your own business and sell something that's legal to sell. So the whole time I'm trying to think of what I can do. So boom, I go get, I think, where did I work at the time? I went to Metro. I worked at Metro on Broadway. While I was working there, I was like I was one of the better salesmen there. So I'm like, I want to do something else. Yeah, I'm just like, that's what the general manager, that's why she hired me. She was like, asked me have I ever had jobs in sales and everything. Of course I hadn't. So I'm like, I have a charge, and I told her what my charge was. She was like, oh, you're a salesman. So we're gonna hire you for the sales rep position. I mean, she was cool. So did that for a little while. Came, and while I was doing that, somebody turned me on. Like, I'm always in for, like, if you give me a good idea that I could probably make some money at, but it might take an investment, I'm with it. So somebody's telling me about the cleaning services. So they're like, okay, you can get contracts with the city and all of this and do all of this. So I went and started a cleaning service while I was at Metro. Talked to the same general manager. I was like, okay, I had got a contract. I had got a contract with the little CD place. It's like over by the Ville. They make radios for all the city, the city people, like all of the CB radios. But they gave me a cleaning contract. So I'm telling my supervisor, I got to go clean this building every Friday. And she was like, the general manager was like, cool, like, do your thing. So I'm doing that, you know, and working at Metro. And something I got a kind of a attitude too. So sometimes when
Kind of an attitude.
I mean, it's like, if you show me, like, if I'm working for you, and you're showing me that you're incompetent, like, if you're showing me that I'm kind of like, if I feel like I'm smarter than you, you can't tell me what to do no more. Like, it's over with. You know what I mean? So I'm talking to, not the general manager, it was like some of the managers that work in Metro. I'm like, that don't even make sense what you telling me to do. Like, that makes no sense. Like, some of the things wouldn't make it wasn't. It made no sense. So, you know, when you tell people that, it kind of, y'all be at odds. So I was like, I got to do something. So I looked one day, I did the same thing she did. I'm on the computer at work. I see they're hiring that cat. I got a license. Let me see if it's working. Then my cousin worked the cat. I called him like, hey, are they hiring for real? Like, yeah, I can get you in there. Woo, woo, woo. So I go ahead, put the application in, did the interview, got in at cat. While I was at CAT, I still had to clean stuff, but CAT, the hours are so crazy, man. There's no way you're gonna keep up a business while working for the city, for Knoxville Transportation. So I had to let my business go. Had to let my contract go. People were so sad to see me go because I'm really charging like nothing. I don't know, I'm just charging. I mean, sounds good to me, so. Boom, so they let me go. I mean, I let that go, and I just devoted my time to CAT. Because I ain't never had a job where you get insurance. I got everything. I'm going to the eye doctor, going to the real doctor.
You probably a grown-up.
I went and did everything. I ain't never had this before. They had insurance and all that. The best thing ever, the best thing is sliced bread to me. So I'm working at CAT, you know. She already told you the story where I met her. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was the only black people in the class. I'm looking around. So we kind of connected.
Is she cute?
Yeah, she did. You know what I'm saying? She doing
And
her
left
thing in
that
there. I told her I ain't even used to realize that she was cute because they used to have the cat clothes on. I didn't really know what you looked like until we was chilling after work. I was just kicking it with you because you was cool. But yeah, so I did that cat thing for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I was saving. I still had, you know what I'm saying, a little money saved from where I was working my cleaner service. Had the cat paycheck. The cat paychecks were good. Cat was good on the paychecks. Like, you worked at overtime and everything. Cat's they're gonna pay you. You know what I'm saying? It's just you got to worry about getting fired.
You.
Yeah, they're gonna slave you. They'll let you slave yourself. So, you know, I'm going back and, you know, I'm taking trips to see my family. I got family in Atlanta too. You know what I mean? Shout out to Jay. That's my cousin Jay. But I got in all of my aunties and stuff. But I was going back and forth to see them. You know, his baby's mother had a brother. So we kind of kicked it off because he had the entrepreneurial spirit too. Mm-hmm. So we started kicking it, you know what I'm saying? We met at a birthday party, started kicking it. He just mentioned, like, yeah, man, I design clothes. I got my own clothing line and everything. But, you know, I've seen kind of things like that before, so I blew it off like, yeah, he probably just, you know, same thing everybody else doing, you know what I'm saying, pressing something on a T-shirt, this and that. You know what I mean? That ain't nothing. I've seen it before. So, boom. They invite me down again to go to his birthday party. His birthday party had an 80s party. So I go to the 80s party and everything. We get to chopping it up again. So he's like, he's showing me stuff from his line. Like he get my ear and he's showing me stuff. I'm like, this don't look like the stuff that I've seen. He's showing me like those kind of like the jackets and hoodies, you know what I'm saying? But it's all like, it's like clothes, it's like the quality of the clothes that you could go into a department store and get. So now I'm interested, you know what I mean? So I'm like, man, look, how much would it be for me to buy into your business? Like for me to sell B&B. Like at first I just had B&B items. Like I was like, how much would it be for me to sell your items? So he telling me like, he gave me a good deal. He gave me a good deal on it. I was able to make some money. After a while, he was telling me like, look, if you have anything, Because I'm asking him, like, do you have anything that look like this? Do you have anything that can match this? He's telling me, like, look, just do a design and tell me what you want and send it to me. I can get my clothes made however you think that you want.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, okay, we can do that. You know what I mean? So start trying to do that. But at the time while I'm doing that, I'm thinking to myself, like, if I can get the clothes designed how I want them, why can't I make my own clothing line? Like, I'm asking him. And he's like the name of his company, like the name of his thing is Bosses Making Bosses. Like, he's really on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's going to give you the game. If you want the game, he's going to get it to you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I need that information.
Yeah. I'm going to give it to you, too. Same thing. Like, same way I got it, I'm not going to, like, it'd be unfair for me to hold it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But he gave it to me. You know what I'm saying? He told me how to do it. Really, he was doing it for me at first. He was like, yeah, you got your own, your logo and everything. He showed me how to, he pretty much showed me, like, you know, you got to have something that's fluid that can be put on anything. You know what I'm saying? Not just urban wear, but you might want to go another route one day. You might want to put it on a polo shirt. You got to have something that's not too street, but also not too
Universal.
Yeah, it has to be universal. So he giving me all of that. So I come up with my logo, start making my first item. I think my first stuff was
A t-shirt.
This
T-shirts. Yeah, what's those? Yeah, so that's why the name changed, because I had to learn about copyright infringement too.
So where did Relentless come from?
Relentless hustle, because it's like it's me. Like, anything I do, anything I put my mind towards, I'm gonna accomplish it. Like, I'm gonna be relentless at it. If I put any kind of time, any kind of money towards it, my finances and my time, if I devote any of that to it, it's gonna be complete. Like, I'm gonna shoot for the stars in another universe, so that if I fall short, I'm gonna still win. Like, I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm not half doing anything. You know what I'm saying? That I have any kind of interest in. You know what I mean? Like, I used to stay up till 2 days when I was little trying to beat video games, just because, like, that's my mind. I can't. It's like obsessive compulsive behavior. But that's like relentless. Like my struggles, because you're always gonna struggle through life. My hustle is relentless. What is it? Ambition? I got it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, ambition. Like, you're not gonna make it anywhere with no ambition. So you have to have. I mean, it takes a lot of ambition to be successful. You know what I mean? You can't just put a little bit of your time into it, or a little bit of your faith that it's gonna work. You got to put everything into it for it to work. But yeah, that's like, after he showed me the game, like I said, I'm relentless. So he went and he was getting it for me. So I'm asking him, like, how are you meeting these manufacturers? Who is your manufacturer that you use to make them? But I mean, like, he gave them to me. He told me how to do all of that. He's like, look, I use this manufacturer. I use this manufacturer for this. You got to have numerous ones. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll mess up on you. You know what I'm saying? They'll try you. So you got to have numerous people to keep your shipments coming in. But I said, it's been a lot of trial and error with that too. But it's you know, you might make something that you like, and everybody else might not like it, because all of these ideas that I'm making is stuff that I like, coming from my head. Oh, my daughter, she made some of the stuff too. She's cold. She's like, Destiny's cold. But
she's the artist that be drawing on.
Yeah. She draw on phones. Like, she's an artist. But she, like, nobody else designs these clothes but, like, me and her. That's the only other person I've ever had help. So a lot of this stuff coming from my own mind. But I submit I submit, like, the material, the sizes, how I want, like that's sublimation. Like, if I want sublimation, if I want patches, if I want embroidery, if I want PVC, you know what I mean? It's a lot, and I'm learning as I'm going. But I'm studying a lot too, you know, because it takes a lot. It's a lot of materials out here in the world. I didn't even know it was that much stuff that clothes could be made out of. I thought everything was cotton.
Cotton, right?
I thought everything was cotton.
So let me ask you this, because y'all have a blended family. So how many children do y'all have together? Like,
together, we have 8 children and 3 grandchildren.
And you how old?
30.
So you're a 30-year-old grandma.
I am.
So how was that? Because How old is your oldest child?
22.
So how was that? Like meeting his oldest child?
That's my girl.
Okay.
Okay, period. Shout out to Kiki. That's my girl. I didn't know how it was gonna go. When I met him, I was 27. I didn't know how it was gonna go. I'm like, he got a daughter that like I can't be her mama. Like, girl, do you? We in the same boat. But when I got to know her, started talking to her, like it's a lot of stuff that we have that are similar that I could relate to with her that he couldn't relate to with her, and so I think we kind of bonded over that, and now we close. You know, I probably am closer to her than any of the kids, just because for one, we're not that far in age, so I don't have to be like the disciplinary, the mother. You know, I give her advice, I tell her if she wrong, but we can be more friends where, you know, with the kids you gotta, I'm not your friend. But and the grandkids, of course, I love the babies. She just had us a granddaughter, which I've always wanted a daughter, and I never got to have one biologically. So now I have the opportunity to raise up a little girl from birth to help. I am. I am. But I like it. I didn't know at first. Like, I was skeptical. Even when before I even met any of his kids, before he met my kids, we was like, whoa, we got a lot of kids. Like, I got 3. You got 5. I was just like, interesting. Interesting. But it kind of just, you know, it happened. Like, kids gonna follow your lead. So when we started all getting together, it's just like, okay, this what it's 10 of us. Like, you know, what we gonna eat?
Wow.
Relentless 10.
The relentless 10 that makes sense.
That's where the saying came from. I was like, we got a family of 10.
Party of 10.
It's Tennessee and the 10
Yeah.
of us.
So let me ask you this, Rashaad, with you being away for 9 years and then getting out, how do you mend your family back together, you know? Or did you, like, I don't know, my brothers always was in and out, and I feel like they don't have the relationship with their kids that they should. But when I see you, you know, even for Christmas, and you put that whole list of everybody's names, I was like, wait a minute. It's like you still have your close-knit family, you know?
I mean,
bond.
I mess with my kids. Then, like, the only ones that I really kind of lost contact with while I was in prison were the older ones, like Kiki and my son Jemias. And that's because they were going through things while I was in prison because of their mother. So it was a lot going on in that situation. So I kind of lost contact with them through my prison stint. But I had cell phones. I'm calling home. I don't care what they talking about. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm calling home. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to talk to my family. You know what I mean? I'm trying to contact my family. I don't care if they don't want to come see me. I'm gonna call them, and then if you don't pick up the phone, I'm gonna keep calling back. So I'm gonna talk to somebody. But I try to keep the communication with them so that they never like. I mean, I was absent physically, but I wasn't gone. You know what I mean? Some people go to prison and they disconnect with all the way from their family, or they really probably weren't worried about their family anyway while they was out here, so they don't really have any kind of vested interest to keep contact. But I tried to keep contact with my kids. Then when I got out, I understand that you can't make it up. Like, there's nothing you can do. Time is something that you will never get back. Like, that's gone. There's no like trying to do any, like, nothing's gonna make that right. So I just take every day for what it is, you know what I mean? I understand I was gone, I'm here now, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna go overboard trying to make it, because that's not gonna work. You can't go overboard, you just gotta do what you gotta do what you do now to make what happened, you know, to make what happened irrelevant, you know what I mean? Now, I start from where I came out. Okay, so what's going on? What do y'all got going on? I'm not changing nothing up. What your mama doing or nothing. But this is what I want. Like, this is what I want to see in y'all. Or this is what I have to offer. It ain't even what I want them to do. This is what I have to offer. I can teach you this. I can teach you this. You know what I'm saying? That's part of being a father. You know what I mean? I can teach you this is right, this is wrong, and I got some stories I can tell you that can help you through life. I got some real good stories I can tell you that probably deter you from trying to go the route I went. You know what I mean? But it ain't, I just do that. Like I just try my best.
I got you. So, when did it come that y'all was like, boom, we about to merge our businesses together. We're going to get us a building. Because this is dope. I love it.
Let me just say.
He's the mastermind.
No, he's not.
I am.
No.
This is my idea.
No. So, I've never stopped doing Divas. I closed my physical location. But if you follow me or if you've been my friend on Facebook for any amount of time, I'm always selling stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Even your son.
Period. Because, like, literally, I've been a single mother since I was 17 until I met this man. And I always pride myself on, these are my kids, I'm going to provide for them. Like, I'm not asking nobody for nothing, which their fathers have not been present most of the time. One of them's been in prison, the other one's he's just what he is. So, so it's like, I'm not going to chase nobody, make nobody take care of no kids. I'm going to take care of my kids. And I don't want no basic, mediocre life. I want to give them a good life. Mm-hmm. So working, of course, is a no-brainer, but I needed more. So I'm always selling stuff. So even when I closed my location, I still was selling stuff because people didn't stop wanting stuff just because I didn't have a store. They still want it. I see the need, I'm going to provide a solution. Mm-hmm. So I found my van in Atlanta, mm-hmm. like on Marketplace. So I'm like, baby, I want to go down here to Georgia and buy this van. He's like, what? Like, yeah, so that's what we did. We went down there, he checked it out. The man wanted more than what I had to offer. I ended up negotiating and getting it for like $1,200 cheaper than what he wanted to sell it for. Oh, wow.
That's her thing.
Negotiation.
I don't pay full price for nothing.
She's horrible.
No.
Like,
I'm not.
Get the people their money.
No, why would you do that?
That's. I'm like, oh, here, just take the money.
Yeah, here, come on.
My stepdaddy, I think I got that from him because he always say, you don't know till you ask. I'm talking about negotiate, like, take him with you wherever you go, because we pay full price for nothing. Cars, houses, nothing. But, yeah. So I went down there, I got the van. I kind of told him what my vision was for the van. He completely did the inside as far as making it look like a retail boutique.
Oh, wow.
And it came out beautiful. I was so impressed. And so from there, I was like, taking my van out, doing this, doing that. So this was alongside the same time he was giving birth to Relentless. Mm-hmm. So once Relentless started, we got the shirts and a few other things. He was like, oh, yeah, I could put some stuff on the boutique. Like, yeah, put some stuff on the boutique. So we had been, like, selling Relentless before we actually got the store. People been rocking the Relentless for a little bit now. But I wasn't looking for a store per se. I knew eventually I was going to get back in the store, but I was just focused on the mobile boutique. So when Relentless kind of got, he got, more invested into it, he seen it was going to be bigger than I guess initially he thought. Because first we was just looking, online and, doing the boutique, pop-up shop, stuff like that. And he did have an idea about the store. So, me, I've had a store before. We can do that. So, it's like, yeah. Then we had come together, merge the idea. We can have a store where we can both, have our own stuff, our own business with under one roof. We split the overhead for everything. It just is better. Mm-hmm. And then we're married, so it's our money anyway.
And then for tax reasons, too, because that's she files taxes on her business. You can't put the taxes on two businesses, on two LLCs, and pay them together. So Relentless is his own brand and it's his own LLC. It's Relentless Tn LLC. Divahs is his own LLC.
Right. But see, I've been paying business taxes all these years.
Right.
I never stopped. Since I became an LLC in 2018, every year I pay business taxes. I renew my LLC, keep it active, all of that. So I already was a business entity. Mm-hmm. So Relentless had to be something separate, which it should be anyway because it's a different business.
Yeah.
But when we got to on this location, my lovely husband, through his connections, through his cousin, our cousin. I love Jay.
Same one from
our
the
cousin.
left.
Yes.
Okay. Jay.
We love Jay and Nia.
In fact, he the one. You know what? Jay is the one that.
I know.
He the one that I met Rondell through.
I know.
Man, Jay the one that's getting us together.
Jay got us on. So it
it
came like at an inconvenient time because we had the wedding, which I had already been planning for a year. Which weddings like. You can't just hop up one day and plan a wedding. It's a process.
Even the forks and the spoons. I keep saying it. Everything was thought out.
I put my heart into that wedding. I put my heart into it. So that was, it was a lot of stress, especially because that's not his forte. And he had never been to a wedding before.
Well, I couldn't tell because, honey,
it was really like, I'm trying to plan this wedding. He don't even know what to expect from a wedding, So it was really me. My mama helped a lot. My sister-in-law, my Chelsea, my maid of honor, she helped a lot. But it was really me planning the wedding. I didn't have a wedding coordinator. I had a day of coordinator. That's it. So it was really me. And then in the midst of that, we bought a house, at the beginning of the year.
Oh, that's big.
That was big. And we had a house fire, I had surgery, so all of this stuff, boom, 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 boom. And every single thing, taking finances, taking resources, taking time, energy, and then we still have to be parents, And so the building came available at an inconvenient time, but it was either we get it or we don't. If we don't get it, somebody else will get it. And if we do get it, then this will be what we need for the next level. So, of course, I'm always down. I don't really never turn down a good idea.
So who idea was?
It was your idea, but I don't turn down a good idea. But you wouldn't have did it without me.
That's who?
You wouldn't have did it without me.
I would have had to.
No, because he starts projects and don't finish them.
Well,
unless I say.
So y'all balance each other.
To put in there and finish that, yeah.
He got ADHD.
He got ADHD.
Oh, got you.
He would have got the building and forgot about it.
I would have did it eventually. I got around to it.
We did this in a month.
So that's why I was going to ask you, even from a man perspective, right? Because the wedding was over the top. Like she said, she did most of the wedding. It was beautiful, over the top.
Thank you.
Then y'all had a house. You had surgery, a business. How did you keep it together? Because even on Facebook, you kept engaged. You're so funny on Facebook. I love your statuses. You drop gems all day long. You might do it in a funny way, but you actually are saying things that we need to hear and that we need to know because we don't know. Be honest, a lot of us ain't woke. We not within. So a lot of us is not woke to a lot of different stuff. But how did you mentally? How did y'all get through that? Because this is just in the last couple of months. It's not a year. This is the last couple of months.
Like when you see me on Facebook, that's me getting away. I just type stuff out. That's what I do. I get on Facebook, scroll. And post. That's me getting away from the stress. Mm-hmm. You can't stress me on Facebook. I don't care what you say or what you're doing. It's funny to me. This is not. I'm gonna say something that's realistic. But if you come on and disagree with me or you did, I don't care.
You can argue.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I
You're
argue with y'all
a debater.
I do that. It's fun. Okay, if that's what you want to do, is that what we doing? But that's a way for me to get away. So. All of this stuff, it was stressful. When I get off Facebook, I was going crazy. Why are we starting all of this stuff? We got this going on. She's like, well, we got to do this too. No, we don't need to do that. We need to push that to the back. She's not with pushing anything. We're going to do all of this. I was like, man, this is crazy.
That's awesome. I love that.
We did it though.
He was mad at me for a lot. Yeah. For half the year, we was mad at, we was beefing. Not beefing, but I understand his perspective. But that's not my personality. And so it was I know it's a lot for you, but I can do it.
Praise to God, we didn't run out of money. I was like, we're going to be broke in a minute. And then it was man,
I'm just so glad that we came in on the other side in one piece and everything we wanted happened.
You manifest.
I didn't feel like we should have to choose or sacrifice. I feel like I've been choosing and sacrificing my whole life. I want it all. And so
that's our thing. We're not going to sacrifice.
we're not
sacrificing.
Yeah,
We're
yes,
just,
we are. No.
No, we're just.
I want a house and a husband and a wedding
Hello?
and a business
Hello?
and this and that. Like,
And a
no.
bicycle and a dog.
Yep, and we got a dog too. I want it all.
You stressing me out.
Yeah, you can feel that.
To the dynamic duo. I love y'all. I love black love. I love love, period. But black love, especially black fathers, you know, black men don't cheat. The whole movement. I love it all. Okay? So what is next for you all, personally and business-wise?
Personally, my next thing that I've had my heart set on doing for a while is I want to write an autobiography.
Okay.
Becoming Divah B. Now that I turned 30 this year, kind of just like from the beginning of my life to this point until like where I got married, because I'm starting a new journey now. One, not just my life now. We have one life together. So I want to kind of have a story to share, and I want people. I done been through a lot. I done been through a lot. So I want to share my story. I mean, it's going to include everything. Like, I'm not leaving any rocks unturned, from mental health, trauma, like my childhood, like everything. It's going to get deep. So that's what I'm coming up for me next will be for my personal journey. Business-wise, of course, we're going to keep pushing the store. We're trying to, I'll let him tell what he's doing, but I'm trying to get, of course, more items, but my website so that I can reach more places, bigger than Knoxville. Like, that's my next thing, take it out of Knoxville, bigger than Knoxville. So.
I love that.
And for me, I don't know. Personally, I'm just trying to keep everything together, keep the family together. That's what a man does. You know what I mean?
That's important.
I'm just trying to keep everything in working order, and then business-wise, I'm trying to push my brand. Like what's on Shark Tank? You know the little short dude with the big head, the black dude. What's his name?
Dane.
Is that his name? Yeah, the Dane.
Dane.
Yeah, I'm trying to do what he did. I'm trying to do what he did with the fat. Was it
Fubu.
with the Fubu? I'm trying to do what he did with Fubu. Like I'm trying to get it like outside of the country, not even just outside of Knoxville and into the big cities. I'm trying to get it to where it's people in Europe wearing, you know, France wearing my line. If they ain't got to wear for nothing but a year, you know what I mean? Just let me get that year's worth of worldwide money. You know what I mean? I'm pushing. I'm gonna push.
Dope.
Oh, can I drop my son's information?
Oh, yeah.
Before we go, make sure y'all check out my son Armani's business, Senate Sensations, on Facebook, as well as SenateSensations.com, his website. He makes and sells custom scent hand sanitizers. He's been doing so for about a year now. He's 12. How does Armani? He just turned 12.
What?
I know, right? So, yeah, check him out and support him, black-owned young entrepreneur.
Oh yeah, I'm starting my rap career.
No.
And we're going to drop
Cut.
we're dropping all the links in the description box
Okay,
so
cool.
that they can know as well.
Absolutely.
This is our final question.
Uh-oh.
Who eat first, the men or the kid?
You asking me or him?
I'm asking. Who eat first?
Pushing them out the way.
I make his plate first, okay? And I sit it to the side, and then I give the kids their food so they can get out our way. But if I hand him his plate before I fix mine, all his food will be gone before I sit down.
Yeah.
And I be wanting to eat with him.
Okay, that's
The
good.
kids gotta eat first, man.
And I be getting mad when I sit down and he done, now he done. I'm like, dang.
the man provides the food, the woman prepares the food, and it's for the kids.
But it's all for the
like
kids.
It's
right.
all to feed the kids.
We gonna
like,
feed these kids.
That's nature. That's how it works. Like the man is the one that takes the blood. He suffers.
I got
He's the one that takes the shots. You know what I mean?
I got you.
He's the one that's out there in the field. He's gonna take all the shots. He's the protector. He's, you know.
I got you.
But I do make his plate first, just because I be wanting to give him certain, pieces and stuff. Give him the good corner,
Okay. He get the breast like on
The big
everybody.
chicken.
Get the big
Get the
chicken,
big piece of
Just
chicken.
sit there for a minute till everybody else play it.
Right, you look old. It's okay. Well, thank y'all so much. It has been
Thank
a
you.
true pleasure coming and break bread. Thank y'all for all the merch, cause
Thank you.
I got whole outfits out here. Okay. Thank you to all my breadwinners for watching. We love y'all. Peace.